Hi, everyone. Hi. It's me, Jessica, your health fitness program manager from McLean, and I'm guiding you through today's midday movement where I'm recommending that you have a foam roller. Do you have a giant foam roller? Do you have a short foam roller? Do you have some tennis balls around? I also recommend a strap if you have a yoga strap or a towel. And we're going to get started standing. As always, having water nearby, not a terrible idea. But I will not be giving any specific water breaks. But if you need to grab some water, then as always, you absolutely. Okay, let's bring this to the. So getting started, just grabbing hold of your foam roller, maybe you even put your hand on it to help you really find some grounding of your feet down to the floor. Wait a minute, I thought I was sure I was recording, and now I'm not. So give me just 1 second. Hmm. Okay, we're in. Every day is like the first time. It's so wonderful. All right. So using your foam roller perhaps to really help you, maybe take some even little circles with each of your feet towards the floor. Just gentle, small, slow movements. And once you really feel like there's some grounding under your heels, under the ball of your foot, under the pinky toe ball of your foot, maybe even making some gentle little circles starting with your shins and then including your knees and your hips and your whole body can get involved. Just moving and seeing how everything feels. Start to slow down and let's take the same movement in the opposite direction. So still just starting, pressing the balls of the feet back down towards the floor, your shins, your knees, your hips, your chest, your shoulders can get involved. Start to draw your core in, lower belly pulling in, just to keep your back feeling safe and good. And then with your feet firmly planted, just shake it all out. Feel free to make some weird noises, because why not? Okay, grab hold of your foam roller from the outer edges and feet still firmly pressed down. Make sure that you're not locking your knees out towards the back. You can take some engagement of your quads though. What I like to do is think about gently externally rotating the thighs. Just a little external rotation of the thighs will help to already draw your pelvis under for a little bit more stacking. Okay, and from there, you're going to inhale and just bring your foam roller up overhead. Shoulders away from your ears, so not letting them rise, and then exhale. Just bring your foam roller back down. Beautiful. Couple more. At your own pace with your breath, inhale the full length of your inhale, as long as it takes to fill your lungs and diaphragm. Arms come up, and the full length of your exhale. Two more. And this next time that you inhale your arms up overhead, let's keep them there. If you need a break, you can always relax your arms down. I know this can be tough on some people's shoulders. We're going to bend the elbows. Find a little pressure of your hands, palms into your foam roller. Check out if that made you overarch your back. So that external rotation of your thighs, that tuck of your hips and pelvis. Staying grounded, hips stay forward. Gently take some rotation through your chest and shoulder, exhaling in one direction. Inhale, coming back to center. Exhale in the opposite direction. So still trying not to let those shoulders come up towards your ears, elbows are gently stretching down towards the floor. Engagement in your back, pulling that large back muscle, your lats, down towards your hips. Let's get just like one more time to each side. Awesome. Let's be kind. Relax your arms down for just a second. On your next inhale, draw your shoulders all the way up towards your ears. On your exhale, open mouth, sigh it out. Once more on your inhale, draw your shoulders to your ears. Check out if your back started to overarch again, tucking your pelvis under. Exhale, open mouth, sigh it out. Next inhale, arms come up overhead for the last time. Shoulders away from our ears. Take a big stretch over to one side. Still applying a little pressure between the edges of your foam roller. You even push your hips to one side. Inhale yourself back up to center. Shoulders away from ears, hips forward. Find that stretch to the opposite side. Whole new side. So no judgment, no expectations. Arms move first. Exhale, find that shift of your hips. Inhale back up to center. One more time each side. Exhale, shoulders away from your ears. Inhale, find your lifted leg. Start to stretch over to the right. Exhale, gently push your hips. Inhale back up through center. Exhale, shoulders away from ears. Ground through your feet, hips forward. Inhale, chest lifts. Exhale, reach over to the left. Inhale, stretch through your fingers. Exhale, push through your hips. Inhale back up to center. Exhale, relax your arms down. Great. Let's bring the foam roller to the floor. Where'd my notes go? And next we're going to get a nice big stretch into our hip flexor. So you can once again bring your hands on top of the foam roller. Right foot's going to stay forward. We're going to step that left foot back. So initially, as you step your left foot back, you press your heel down to the floor. We're getting a stretch into your calf. A little pressure through the left heel. A little pressure through the left ball of the foot even. Right heel pressing firmly down towards the floor. Shoulders relaxed away from your ears. You might already be feeling a little stretch in your left hip flexor, but we're going to emphasize that, even if it means that you need to gently shorten your step. As we started in this calf stretch, glutes were down and back. Now we're going to tuck the pelvis under, maybe even a slight little bend to this back knee. Feel a little bit more stretch into your front hip. Ooh, even feel a nice stretch into my somewhat tight low back. Shoulders away from your ears. And on your exhale release, step your left foot forward. And let's get the opposite side. You can keep the foam roller under whichever hand you want. Wait a minute, opposite side. Yeah, right foot. Okay, right foot stepping back. First, your glutes are going back. So you're creating a pretty straight line to get started, like from your head through your hips to that back heel. And that calf is stretching. And then as your chest lifts and maybe you shorten your step or you bend that back knee, ooh, squeezing your glute and driving your hip forward, feeling a little bit more of a stretch maybe into your quad, definitely into that hip flexor. But you have to like really point your knee down and squeeze and drive through this back leg glute. One more big breath. And on your exhale, let's release. Awesome. We're going to take a forward fold. So I'm going to let my foam roller come down to the floor. Great. Inhale your arms all the way up overhead. Draw your belly in, bend your knees, and with a flat back, we're coming down towards the floor. So you bend your knees, flat back, belly coming towards your thighs, flat back. Your knees can stay bent as you relax and release your hands down to the floor. Maybe you even roll your foam roller a little bit further forward, and you just want your back to stay nice and flat. So drawing your lower belly in, try to take rounding out of your upper back. Squeezing your shoulder blades together, down and back. So shoulders are rolled away from your ears. It brings your chest forward, which also helps you to bring your belly towards your thighs. So wonderful. So we're just in like a pretty deep tabletop right here. And if you want a little bit more, you can shift even more weight forward into your toes. You can bring your foam roller a little bit more forward underneath of your chest and shoulders. So enjoying that flat back, maybe even relax your head and hairline closer down towards the floor. We'll just take a couple more breaths here. Try to release. Check if your shoulders came back up towards your ears. Can you draw them down as you pull that upper back muscle towards your hips? That's going to take the rounding out of your back. Your hands can always be a little bit wider also. And feel free while you're here and your feet are firmly planted to get a deeper stretch into your hips, even if your knees are super bent. Just bending one knee and then the other a little bit more for our last few breaths here in this forward fold. And then we're going to work our core. And then we're going to stretch again. Okay, so come on down to the floor. If you want to, you can take your hands off the foam roller if it's moving around a lot. I want you to be safe. We're going to bring the knees down to the floor, and the foam roller is going to stay in front of us towards the top of the mat. Make sure you have some space because planks are about to happen, or your best version of a plank is going to happen. But let's make it a stretch still. So in like the form of a sun salutation, pressing your knees down towards the floor, shoulders relaxed away from your ears. Find a nice lift through the crown of your head. On your inhale, bring your arms up overhead for a nice kneeling mountain pose. Stretch up, squeeze your glutes, press your hips forward, look up. And then exhale, we're going to rain our fingers down towards the foam roller. So your glutes can send back towards your heels, that same flat back that we found just a minute ago, to come on down. And let's actually take a moment here. Send your hands forward, send your hips back, take a little child's pose, relax your head down to the floor. Take 2 more slow breaths here. And you can bring a generous bend to your elbows if those arms straight did not feel good. And then keep the weight back, glute towards your heels as you roll your foam roller in and then press yourself back into your knees. Inhale your arms up overhead again. Look up towards the ceiling, squeeze glutes, drive hips forward, and then exhale, belly in. You can bend your knees flat back. Hands come down to your foam roller. Hands and then wrists come forward to the foam roller. You can stay right here as your forearms come down, or you can step or roll enough such that your legs lift up into a plank. Shoulders externally rotate here, not round. Eye gaze forward, and then knees back down towards the mat. Glutes back towards your heels. Find that long back. Find that child's pose for a full breath. On your next inhale, roll your foam roller back in, press yourself up onto your knees, inhale your arms up overhead. Exhale, back bend. Maybe a cactus at the end. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, rain or swan dive forward. Hands come back down to your foam roller, roll your foam roller forward, lift your knees up off of the mat, hang out in this plank just a little bit longer. Find that external rotation of your shoulders. The foam roller definitely makes this a little bit more difficult. We're not even here for a full 30 seconds, but do your best. If you need to, you can bring your knees back down to the mat. Otherwise, hang out for 3, 2, 1. Awesome. Walk those knees in. Once again, send your glutes back towards your heels. Take your child's pose here. Find your breath. Hopefully just feeling a little bit more warm, even from those 2 planks, as you can see. 1. Go ahead, roll yourself back up, and we're going to sit on the foam roller now. So bringing your foam roller lengthwise on your mat. I like to get on from the back. I like to just sit on the foam roller and bring my legs forward. Some people like to roll onto it from the side. I don't know. Find your way onto the foam roller. I have faith in you. So glutes down nice and low, top of the head on the foam roller. You can open your feet a little bit wider. You can open your arms a little bit wider. And when you first get on, just take a moment here, a little tucking of your pelvis up towards the ceiling, a little rounding of your pelvis, driving your glutes into the foam roller, a little just in each direction, like rolling an imaginary marble to find your nice flat neutral spine here. And then simply relax. As your elbows come closer towards your body, you get a gentle little squeeze between your shoulder blades and scapula, and depending on how tight you are, it might feel great and it might feel challenging. We're going to work with that right now just to make sure that everyone gets that. So we're going to inhale, arms up, and however you need to find those arms up. Woo! And then just relax a little. So already, for me at least, there's some pressure, especially in my super tight left shoulder, which I've been complaining about lately. You're welcome. We're going to work one arm at a time to begin with. So my palms are facing in towards each other. This is a move that if you don't have the foam roller and you have two tennis balls, placing some tennis balls towards your upper back can also feel fantastic here. But we're going to inhale, stretch one arm higher towards the sky. As you do so, that mid back, that low back presses into the foam roller. And as you exhale, just come back down to neutral. It's giving the foam roller a little hug with the shoulder blade. Inhale the opposite finger up towards the sky, pressing your low back into the floor, pressing your feet into the floor, and then exhale, gentle little hug. Keep using your breath. Inhale, do one arm at a time. Feel each of your back vertebrae pressing into your foam roller. Maybe you notice some spots are a little bit more tense than the other. Bringing out one more time of just each arm moving on its own. And then I'm going to give you a moment, bend your elbows release back down to the floor, arms open wide. So we'll just keep this continuous, gentle little hug of our upper body shoulders on the mat. We're going to come back to them though. In the meantime, let's get our abs fired up a little bit more. You might need to turn your hands, palms down towards the floor or adjust where your arms are. We're going to lift one leg at a time. Maybe you can't even fully lift a foot up off of the floor, but can you press into the ball of the foot and drive a heel up off the mat and then exhale to release it down? So inhale, maybe you're starting really small, just finding some pressure, getting into that calf muscle again. Exhale, releasing heel towards the floor. Inhale the opposite side. Or you're challenging yourself and we're going to inhale, lift that right leg up, maybe even to tabletop. And then exhale, release it back down. So just keep moving through. Ooh. Ooh. And the more that you're really drawing through the core and like I'm pressing through my elbows in towards the mat. I'm really pressing my low back into the foam roller to create some stability to help with the instability that we're adding with the legs. Let's get one more time on each side with either that heel raise or the knee drive. And then we'll keep feet firmly planted on our on the foam rollers. We're getting to that on the floor. All right, inhale your arms up one more time, palms facing towards each other. And this time, let's do both arms at the same time. So inhale your arms all the way towards the ceiling. And then exhale, squeeze your shoulder blade scapula around your foam roller. Inhale, stretch up towards the ceiling. Exhale, find that gentle squeeze. One more time. Inhale, stretch up towards the ceiling. Exhale, find that gentle squeeze. Hold it. We're going to open our arms wide to the side. Someone has a chair. It's me. and then keeping that squeeze. Maybe one arm, ooh, at a time, reach back up over your chest, and then exhale, find that open, and then opposite arm. So even while I'm reaching up here, I still intentionally have a squeeze of my shoulder blade scapula in towards the foam roller, just sort of changing the way that we are enjoying that self-myofascial squeeze. We're just going, ooh, oh, that's so good. I hope you feel the same way. And we're going for 3 times on each side. If you happen to find a sticky spot somewhere that is just calling for you to stay in that stretch, then I want you to just hold it there and enjoy the stretch. Honestly, that is what we're looking for. Let's make some snow angels. Inhaling your arms up overhead, fingers can drag gently on the floor. Exhale, bringing those arms down by your side. We're looking for where there might be some tense spots in our fascia, in our muscles. And even if maybe you roll around on it and you move it around, and maybe you just hold there and send some breath to bring some relief. One more time with these big snow angels. For as big as your space allows. Once your arms come down to your side again, palms face down, let's just take a gentle little wiggle side to side on the foam roller, the last of the love that we're going to be giving into our upper back and shoulders. So now that they're a little bit more warmed up, maybe you even gently roll off of your spine into those shoulder blades on your roller. And, oh, that felt so good. And as you're ready, we're going to roll off the rollers. Woo! But keep it nearby. Bring it parallel to your body this time. Plant your feet firmly down on your mat. On your inhale, we're going to lift our hips up into a glute bridge. And on your exhale, just roll that foam roller right underneath of your low back. Awesome. Draw your right knee in towards your chest. You can even bring your fingers, interlace them around your shin and extend your left leg long. Another nice big stretch into your left hip flexor. If you're having trouble holding on to your knee, maybe you use your strap right here to help you relax the back of your head and your chest towards the mat. Awesome. Let's switch. You can be bold and draw both legs up, or you can always plant one foot down on the floor, just drawing your left knee towards the chest this time, extending your right leg long, whether your toes are pointed or flexed, depends on what feels good for you right now. Relax your shoulders away from your ears, away from your hips. Big breaths, some delightful self-myofascial release pressure into your low back. All right, this time I do encourage you to be daring. Draw both knees in towards your chest. Arms can come out wide towards the floor. We're going to send our legs up towards the sky. Awesome. All right, so right now we're in waterfall, or just legs up an imaginary wall. This is actually an inversion posture. This gives you the same benefits that doing a handstand would. We're sending blood flow to the heart. We're encouraging lymphatic draining in this direction. Let's just do a little something with our legs though. So I want you to open your legs nice and wide as your legs can comfortably open, and then point your toes towards the floor, towards your face. So a little external rotation of the feet. Just do your best, whatever happens. And then we're going to squeeze our heels in towards each other and point toes up towards the ceiling. So legs open nice and wide with toes pointed. and then toes point down towards the floor if you can. Stretch through your heels, and then squeeze your heels in towards each other and point your toes back up. A couple more times. Open those legs nice and wide. Point your toes down towards the floor, towards your face even. Squeeze your heels in towards each other. Toes back up towards the sky. 2 more times. Open your legs nice and wide. Point your toes down towards the floor. Squeeze your heels in towards each other. Point your toes up towards the sky. Last time. Open legs nice and wide. Point toes down to the floor. Squeeze heels in towards each other. Legs point up towards the sky. Draw your knees in towards your chest. Grab hold of your strap. Yay! We're gonna take the strap and we're gonna put it over the right. Oh my gosh, that happened. You're gonna put it over the right foot. You don't even have to use the loop. With the strap on the right foot is going to come towards your face. Left leg is going to be long. The foot with the strap stays long. The foot without the strap, that knee is going to bend. So our feet are going to pass each other. Right leg, remember, stays long. Left leg bends. Knee comes towards your nose. And then exhale, open your legs. Point your left toes, stretching through that right foot into your strap. Right leg stays long, bend your left leg. Knee goes away from you, extend your legs, right leg comes nice and long. Let's do it one more time. Bend your left knee, draw it in towards you, legs pass each other. Left leg opens nice and wide in a scissor. And then left knee bend, send your leg away, right leg comes up towards you. You can even release your left foot towards the floor. Just take a moment here in your breath, finding that big stretch on the back of your right hamstring. Oh my God, I'm so glad that belt buckle only hit my chin. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's go ahead and switch those legs out. So this time bringing the strap onto your left foot. Left leg is going to come nice and long. Extend your right leg away from you. So remember, left leg stays long this time. It does not bend. But you are going to bend your right knee, your inner thighs, past each other as your right knee comes closer towards your nose and your left leg is still long. Your right leg extends open wide into your scissors. And then bend your right leg, legs pass each other. Both legs end up being long. 2 more times. Bend your right knee, find that pass, find that open stretch kick. Bend your knee, pass, using your breath. Last time. Bend your knee, find that big wide pass, legs wide. Bend your knee, left foot closer to your face. This time you can bring your right foot towards the floor and take that deeper stretch into your left hamstring. Both knees bend. Let's release the strap off of our foot. Release both of your feet back down to the floor one at a time. Use your inhale. Lift your foam roller up. Slide it out from under your back. Lower yourself down. Let's sit ourselves down. Yay! Sit ourselves up with both of your knees still bent. So I sat up and I'm in deer pose in some sort of a 90-90 with the legs. Maybe you have this opposite leg wide. I like to have that opposite leg really close in towards the hip for a little bit of a stretch into the quad. We're going to take a quick little mermaid stretch here. Last thing we do with these foam rollers. So my knees are both bent. I have plenty of space on the right side, right hand on the foam roller to just reach away. Maybe left arm even reaches up. Just like you're a beautiful mermaid. As much distance or as little distance as you want here. My right glute is staying on the floor. The left one is maybe not quite as much on the floor here. Just going for 3 times on each side. Whoa, Freddy Freds. When you're done, you can extend your legs in front of you, bend your knees to one side, sit your glutes down. That's all you need to do. And then same thing to the opposite side. Just taking that nice little mermaid stretch and roll as much or as little as you want to. 3 times, 3 big waves. And believe it or not, everyone, that's all the time that we have today. So here's one more big wave from me. Thank you so much for coming. I hope that you enjoyed having a little fun, doing something a little different with the foam roller. And I look forward to seeing you again soon for more stretches, feeling good, midday movement on campus or virtually. Have a wonderful rest of your day.